At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show where we are here with our good friend John Boy Pelletier in the house. Woo! The crowd goes wild.
Yeah. Thank you, crowd.
Woo! All three of us in here. We're so happy to have you here today.
You know, I had to pay for that. I'll get to you guys later.
Yeah, he bribes us. You know, he's going to take donuts or something to get us to do that again.
No, I'm glad to be here.
No, it's always fun when you stop by, and I never know what hat you're going to have on.
I know.
Because this guy retires and then just takes on like 75 more projects. Way to go.
Thank you. This is one that actually I've been doing since 1973.
So we were just talking about that off the air.
I can tell you the whole story if you want.
Yeah, I would love to hear the whole story.
Well, Wellston had their centennial celebration in 1973.
Yes.
And during
so that's
that
100 years.
Yeah, 100 years. Yeah. So at the conclusion of that, a group of citizens basically said, you know, we'd like to keep this going. So we formed the Ohilco Society, which is just a group of volunteers to keep the festival going every year. So Ohilco means Ohio Hill Country.
And who named that? Who came up with that
name? I'm not
name?
quite sure. I would say Barb McInnes would have a better idea than I would. Because I was one of those that they did it and then they invited me to be on the board.
Okay.
So that was already taken care of. Dick Brooks was a main player. He used to have the Western Auto Store in Wellston.
Okay.
That's before your time, of course. And then Barb McInnes, of course, has been the Wellston historian for forever. So anyway,
she's our Bob Irvin.
Yeah, and then at one time they decided, since there was the Apple Festival and the Pumpkin Show and all that, we didn't have anything, so they made it to the Wellston Coal Festival, so that we would have, you know, so coal was the theme.
So there was so it was more about something,
right? Then when coal went away, as you know.
Yes.
We had a coal festival, but we didn't have any coal. I mean, they had
we have an apple festival and don't have any apples.
Well,
so.
I know. Well, anyway, the Ohilco Society decided to go back to
Ohio Hill Country.
The roots.
Okay.
So when they wanted to go back to the Ohilco Festival, I'm the one who was the, you know, thorn in their side, and I said, let's not do Ohilco.
No, just say you're the voice of reason.
Okay, for the festival, let's do Ohio Hill Country, which Ohilco stands for.
Sure.
And the reason I did that is because I remember year after year the Queens would tell us, and they would go out to different communities and they would be announced the court for the Ohilco Festival. And the first thing out of everybody's mouth is, what's an Ohilco? What's that?
That makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
So we decided to do which Ohilco stands for. It's the Ohio Hill Country Festival.
Sure.
That's the short story.
I'd hate to hear the long one. No,
I
I'm
know.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, and that's an interesting history lesson on how it came to be. So, how long in between was it the Coal Festival?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure.
Because I
didn't count.
remember the scandal of trying to remember to not call it the Ohilco Festival
Right.
and go to the
The
Coal
Coal
Festival.
Festival.
And now I call it the Coal
Coal
Festival
Festival.
because I can't remember to
Right.
go back.
It's
So.
the same festival.
It's the same thing. It's fine
It's
if you
fine.
mess it up. But no, so believe it or not, the Ohio Hill Country Festival will be celebrating, did I hear its 50th year?
Yes, this is the 50th year of what I call celebrations and festivals. So
Yes.
we've actually been doing Ohilco, Ohio Hill Country, and Coal Festivals for 49 years, but it all started in 1973 with the centennial.
Sure.
So we're coordinating this with some other celebrations that are happening in the city of Wellston. The second anniversary or celebration will be Gem Bottling, Rex Hozappel. They've been in business now for 100 years.
That is insane.
It is, isn't it? And then the city of Wellston, it's their sesquicentennial.
Yes.
So that's
You
150.
did that so well.
Well, thank you. I've been practicing. It's 150 years. So it's all sort of been going to be a big anniversary celebration, birthdays for us, for Gem Bottling, the Hozappel family, and also for the city of Wellston.
So this is so crazy that it's kind of funny they all came about on rounded years, right? So you have 100 or 150, no matter what you're celebrating, or
Right.
50. Here we are. And the cool thing about the Ohio Hill Country Festival is I always kind of think of it as the first fall festival. So, you have the Wild Turkey Festival kind of kicks off fair and festival season
Right.
in May. But then, you get back to school and then the Ohio Hill Country Festival starts because we do the Apple Festival and the Pumpkin Show and the Oktoberfests and all of that stuff. So you guys kind of kick that off in the fall.
Yeah, it's always been the week following Labor Day.
Labor Day. So
Yes.
can you believe it's quick?
I know. So it's been an easy date to remember.
Yeah.
It's also been difficult because keep in mind that when you are booking entertainment and rides and things like that, everybody's doing something on
Labor Day.
And it's kind of difficult to get people to come, but we make it happen.
You do make it happen, and we are now at 50 years of the Ohio Hill Country Festival. That is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, and even though I've been on the festival committee for a long time, I'm really not one of the workers. I've sort of backed off, and played my old man card. And we have a lot of young men and women who really, really work hard to make this happen. So,
I think a lot of folks don't understand or maybe appreciate the fact that planning these festivals doesn't happen in a month or a week or, this is a year-round endeavor.
Right.
One ends and you start the next one.
Yeah.
Planning.
And of course, the Ohilco Society, we also have taken on, the depot and Pride Park. And of course, the city helps us with some of the maintenance. And the depot has completely been renovated now. And so the new gazebo, they put it, it's all, and that was through grants through the city and Tammy Phillips. So it's good looking. It's been repaved. It's going to be a better place to have a festival this year.
I think that's fantastic. And, you do have such a beautiful area to have the festival with the park and the depot. And, your downtown is just so well set up for that.
It is. And when we reversed, everything used to be on Ohio Avenue.
Yeah.
And when we reversed that to include Pride Park, people seem to really enjoy it because we put picnic tables in the park. They're still able to hear and see the stage.
Yep.
and they can go to their favorite concessionaire and sit down at the
Sure.
picnic table and
That's wonderful.
fellowship and eat their lunch or their snacks and watch the entertainment too. So
And that's so good. It's
It
just
is.
a true community
Yeah.
event. And that's
Shade
what it's
trees
supposed
and
to be.
all.
Hey, shade
Yeah.
trees are a good
there
thing.
you go. It's a good thing. So anyway, we have the festival. It'll start Wednesday this year on September the 6th, all the way through Saturday.
Well, very good. And we look so forward to it. You all work so hard. And are there any like fun tidbits of entertainment or anything special going on that you can tell us about?
Well, besides some of the, the anniversary celebrations,
Yeah.
we kick off, of course, on Wednesday, which is Hometown Day, and we have our hometown parade.
Mhm.
And that basically has pretty much just all local things in it, not too much from out of town, unless
Yep.
you're running for office, you probably show up. But then, of course, we have the hometown parade, which has been a tradition for us for the Ohio Hill Country Festival. And in that, we feature the Grand Marshals. There's Grand Marshals this year. It hasn't been released yet, but I did break it on the radio, so I should probably tell you too.
I think that's only fair.
It is only fair.
Yes.
The Grand Marshals this year are Rex and Vicky Josefel.
Well, that was very appropriate.
That's very appropriate.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the opening ceremonies and then Wednesday night's entertainment. Wednesday night's entertainment. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
When I sent this information,
I don't know if I'm ready or not.
When
You're
I-
building this up.
when I sent this information to James, he thought my email had been hacked because of the name of this group. He said,
I was afraid to open this email.
he was afraid he's going to open it. It would set off alarms. Actually, the name of the group, they're from Cincinnati,
Okay.
and they bill themselves, and they are probably the biggest party band ever.
Okay.
They're called the Naked Karate Girls. There they are.
Shut up. That is awesome.
And they're not girls.
Or naked or doing
Or
This
naked
is
or
so good.
If you would Google that, Naked Karate Girls, they are just a fun and a good group.
Really good.
It's going to be a riot. So
Love it. Love it.
it'll be a fun time at Wellston Wednesday night when the Naked Karate Girls hit the stage. So anyway, we're looking forward to that.
Love that.
We also have, that's on Hometown Day, Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we move in the first part of the day from the morning all the way till early afternoon. We have the Jackson County Adult Services Day.
Yes. That's
And
such a good thing.
It is. And this year it's going to be the same. We'll have all the adult services and their residents will come in and we feed them. We have a cookout. We
Yeah.
feed them lunch and they have a great time. Simba Jordan, again, will be there
Yep.
to
Love Simba.
entertain. We've had other people over the years, but it doesn't work. And
They want Simba.
Oh, they want him, and he gets down and off the stage, and it's just
He's such a good dude.
he is, and it's a fabulous show for them. And then we give them some phony money,
Yeah.
and they go out and spend it with the concessionaires, and then we go back and reimburse, and that's of course thanks to our sponsors, which I probably should say is that a festival is a little bit different than the fairs because we have no way to charge admission.
Right. Because it's, on the downtown streets, right? There's no gates.
So, in order for us to pay for entertainment and rides and all of this, there's you have to pay for rides if you want to ride the rides, but that doesn't cover the cost. But
Sure.
we have some very, very faithful local sponsors, community leaders, businesses who every year, I call, how much do you want? And
It's
I
me
say,
again.
it's John, how much do you want? And so and they never fail to be generous. So, and they're highlighted on the stage and banners and things like that.
Yes.
So And the rides, special people who sponsor rides, their placards will be out for the rides. So when you see them out and about, thank them for helping our Ohio Hill Country Festival.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, after Simba and all of that, the rides will open at 5 o'clock. They open at 5 every day. There's going to be, of course, rides are tough in Ohio since they changed the laws, the safety laws. As you know, you've seen a difference in rides in all festivals and fairs. But we're going to have 18 rides. We're going to have
Whoa.
7 mechanicals and 11 inflatables.
Okay.
Huge inflatables. Some really
Awesome.
nice stuff. So and a laser tag and all kinds of things are going to be happening.
Oh, guys,
So-
we should go do that.
Yeah, it'll be, the kids will have a great time. And those always open at 5 o'clock.
I'm gonna kick your butts in laser tag.
And when you buy your armband, wristband, or whatever to ride the rides, that includes all of them, inflatables and all.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, okay. And then we have that night, of course, there'll be Little Miss Queens contest finals on the stage at 6 o'clock. Then we have the entertainment for Thursday night is Rick Kay and the All Nighters.
Oh, cool.
So they're going to be there. And that'll be on stage on Thursday. Friday is always Youth Day, Student Day. They have the pep rallies and all of that going on. And we have the youth open mic karaoke. And then, of
Awesome.
course, Friday night is our traditional entertainment is karaoke.
Uh-huh.
And people come from all over the world, it seems, to try to win the karaoke contest.
So what happens when you have a bunch of Welsh people in the community,
That's
right?
right, that's right.
Everybody's a talented singer.
And I also should mention at the depot, each day, there's going to be the quilt, needlework. There'll be crafts there.
So cool.
Yeah, and also, thanks to Dana Lockard, we have the art show at the depot every
Love that.
year. So
Yes.
anyway, that will always be at the depot. And then we have on Saturday, there's going to be a lot of different things happening because we'll have some street entertainers, balloon people, making balloons.
Do you have a guy that's going to be painted, be a statue?
Magic. I don't know if we do or not.
That
There'll
would be fun.
magic, caricatures, that type of thing,
Wonderful.
all on Saturday, plus the rides. And one of the big events we have on Saturday is our, it's not ours, but the Black Diamond Lodge put it on, 538 in Wellston. It's the car and motorcycle show.
Oh, cool.
And
And
it
where is that?
It takes up all of Broadway.
Okay.
And
Oh, wow.
so if you do like I do, I always go get a sandwich or some kind of
Something.
some unhealthy carnival food I've been craving all year.
Yes.
And tour around and look at all the cars and
Love that.
motorcycles.
Yeah, so fun.
It's a great show. Then we'll have the rides, of course. The grand finale parade will be on Saturday. And then the Saturday entertainment has not been released. I really don't know, but they haven't told me yet. So
Well, maybe they think you have a big mouth.
that's probably true. They probably know. And then this year, with all of the celebrations going on, we are going to have Saturday night fireworks.
Whoa, cool.
So we'll have fireworks.
Where's the best place to see those?
Anywhere from the festival would be great.
Okay.
Because if you're in the Pride Park area, you're right underneath them.
Okay.
Okay.
Very
So
good.
so right at the festival, anywhere at the festival, it would be just bring your chair and find a spot, and away they go.
That's
So
awesome.
It'll be a great time. And then, of course, the crowning of the 2023 royalty will happen too that night. So.
Sure. And the big parade.
Mm-hmm. Grand finale parade. Food, fun, it'll be a great weekend. Weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So what okay, well, what is your favorite food that you get when you go there? All of it?
Yeah, what isn't my favorite food? Of course, I always start at the Lions booth with the veals,
Okay.
the Jackson County veals.
Yes.
They like to say the Wellston veals.
Yes.
So, and then from there,
Just
I
all
try-
of it.
try it all.
Yeah.
You got to.
I know.
I know.
Well, here's the deal. I think it's like cruel if you leave one out.
Yeah.
Like it might hurt someone's feelings. So therefore you have to go to every booth.
It's your obligation.
Yes.
It is.
It is.
It's you're being a good citizen,
Mhm. supporting
the community of Carnival Foods
Yes.
by
And
eating
your
it
heart
all.
will love you for it.
That's right.
So let's talk about because I think this is fascinating. I know you're not a gem bottling, expert, but 100 years of gem bottling, and what does that mean to the Wellston community?
One of the things that we're celebrating is the fact that Rex Hozaffel and his family, they started that 100 years ago, where they used to bottle everything there
Yeah, like in Wellston.
in Wellston. Yeah.
So did they make the ski and the cream soda and all that right there and then
No,
bottle it right there?
Not anymore. No.
Did they?
Yes, they made the ski, cream soda, the different flavors.
What's your favorite gym product?
Well, I always like cream soda.
See, James and I had a debate about cream soda the other day.
Okay.
Because I said I like cream soda, and then I got the husband in on this discussion too, and he said he's not a cream soda fan. But so our sweet Brittany actually redid that entire logo from Zip printing right here.
Uh-huh.
So now you have a newfangled design of the gym cream soda can.
Now, when you go into
But
different
I
brands,
like cream soda.
different brands, cream soda is not necessarily creamy yellow like this is.
Correct.
Some of them are red
Yes.
or a pinkish
Yeah.
color. But this is the original cream soda.
I mean, if you want a good old fashioned sugar high stomach ache, go with that one.
That's a good one.
So
Make a float with it.
yeah, cream soda float
Ooh, that sounds good.
with ice cream and all that.
Basically just icing.
Yeah, it is turns to icing. So, but no. So back to your point, back in school when all my friends were doing the ski thing, I would be the one that had the cream soda.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I can remember.
but I do like me some ski too.
I can remember walking downtown at lunch.
Yes,
Went to Lee's. That's when it was downtown.
on the corner. Yeah, or
Yeah.
no, it was
It was down.
down. It moved several
Next-
times.
Yeah, it's been down in that little strip across from the library.
Yes.
We would walk in there, and Lee would be at the door going, "Veal ski, ski veal, ski veal, ski veal, ski."
Yeah, like counting the heads.
Yeah. 'Cause there didn't have to have a menu. That's what we ate: veal and ski
Yep. Every day.
every day.
Yep.
Every once in a while, someone would say Pepsi, and the line would come to a halt, and they get beat up for
Right.
for slowing things down. But yeah, that's one of the traditions. The pop machines, of course, they were distributing ski, and I don't know if you remember this, and the flavors in those little pint-sized looking bottles about that tall.
So
round.
I overheard your discussion with Matt and Josh on my drive in this morning, and you were talking about that, and I don't remember that. And then they were talking about like bottles with like foam on it or something, and I was like, what? I don't remember that at all.
But they used those little small bottles. I don't know, with their pint-sized bottles. They would put the
Oh,
styrofoam covers on.
okay,
them,
now
remember?
I remember.
That would be the label.
It's the label. Okay. Yep. I do remember that
Yeah,
now. And
and-
you could peel them off real easy.
Yeah, and that was one of those recycling things, I think,
Yeah.
ideas. So, yeah, get it right out of the machine. I remember getting a ski right out of the machine, and it was a clear bottle, and you would look at it and shake it, and you could see all the little
Particles in there.
particles of fruit floating around in there. So,
Yeah.
but
So it's so funny because it's interesting, like what's cultural in an area, right? And so if anybody comes to our area, it's like, what do I have to have? Like, what are you known for? And of course, ski just bubbles out of everybody's mouth because.
sure.
And it's funny when you do travel and you happen to catch it somewhere, you're like, oh my gosh, there's ski.
I know.
So crazy. So,
Yeah.
but 100 years of gem bottling, that is something.
I know. And it's it's not easy being in business now, as you know,
Yeah.
and someone who can do it for a family business to stick around for 100 years, that's incredible.
I mean, you're saying
I know.
big things here. That's
And
so cool.
we must also say that one of the things that I think keeps gem bottling going in this area is that Rex and Vicky are always giving back. I mean, I'll call him and saying we're having this benefit. How much ski do you need? And he'll deliver it and drop it off and never charge us a dime.
That's awesome.
So and he's always been a big supporter of our festival, and just about everything, worthy causes going down the road
Sure.
in and out of Wellston. He's been right there.
Well, it's paying it forward,
That's right. And so we're kind of excited to celebrate with him,
That's so
a
good.
century of business.
My goodness.
I know. That's crazy.
Crazy. It is. So what are some of the obviously we're honoring gem bottling and your grand marshal choice was obviously very appropriate to have Rex and Vicky be the grand marshals for that. But what are some of the other, so we have the sesquicentennial of Wellston. So 150 years of Wellston being Wellston. And then, so what are some of the, anniversary things that you're doing?
Well, we're having fireworks Saturday night.
Right. That's so good.
Having Saturday night. And the other thing is that it's probably the worst kept secret ever. And that's the firing of the cannon.
Which, again, is terrifying to me. Every time someone says they're going to fire that cannon, I'm like, all I could see is a big old cannonball landing in the city hall there or something.
If you do drive by now, you'll see that they've got a barrier around it because, they're doing, I assume, some restoration. I hope they don't fire a full charge in that bad boy.
Dylan volunteered to be the human cannonball.
That's right.
Man, if they fire a human out of that, that would be something.
So anyway,
we might make the national news for that.
I told the guys in the studio and the radio that I'm online trying to order puppy earmuffs for my dogs when they fire that thing.
Right.
It's going to be life-changing for them, I know.
Whew. So when is that going to happen?
I'm not quite sure. I mean,
Okay.
again, hasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
They're going to have different activities. They're going to, they are planning some separate activities, anniversary, and we'll probably get together when we do our schedule officially, which will come out at the end of next week.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have their schedule to go along with it.
Very, very good. So there's so much stuff going on at one time with numerous celebrations kind of combining together, which is so cool.
It is.
So big time things for Wellston.
And we're excited about it. I think it's going to be an opportunity for us not only to provide a festival, but also to celebrate some wonderful things,
Sure.
It's not easy doing anything for 50 years, let alone 100 or 150 years.
Correct.
So
all of that.
So
very good.
anyway,
So lots of stuff going on. Again, the dates of the Ohio Hill Country Festival.
it starts the Wednesday after Labor Day, September the 6th, and it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, rides each evening.
Okay.
Parades on Wednesday night and Saturday night. Entertainment on the stage every evening. And of course, good food, and
all the food,
rides and fun. Supercar and motorcycle show on Saturday. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I should if I forgot, and I apologize. That the depot every day, they will have the quilt, needlework, and craft show.
Yep.
And then the art show will also take place every day at the depot.
So can people just come in, and is there a charge for that? I mean, it's just come in.
There's not a charge, but there are certain hours.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I have it. The quilt and needle and craft show will be from 2 to 8 on Friday. It'll be from noon to 4 on Saturday. On Wednesday, 4 to 8. But
Okay.
anyway, it'll be mainly in the afternoon and evenings.
Okay.
And the art show will probably be about 2 to 6 every day. So it could go later on some days.
Very good.
But they'll have
And-
the times posted.
Okay.
And we'll have an official schedule out fairly soon. So
Now I know that there was some work being done to the depot. Is it complete or
The
is it a work in progress?
no, the restoration is complete.
Nice.
They repaved the bike path, in through the Pride Park,
Sure.
and the gazebo has been completely redone. So
That is
it's bigger and
amazing.
more accessible. So the Pride Park it's ready to show itself off. So
That's right. Right for the 150th
that's
year.
right. So
So if somebody wants to maybe jump on that bike path, speaking of while we're discussing
Mhm.
it, where does it go? I know it goes out around Lake Alma, but
Yeah.
like where does it start, and then does it do a big loop, or how does
it
that work?
starts at the Pride Park right there.
So it starts right
Yeah,
there.
it starts there.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can park right there and jump on the bike path if you
Jump
want.
on the bike path, walk, or ride your bike,
Yeah.
and it goes out. And you have to be careful. It does cross 93.
Yes.
Then it goes on to the lake.
Yeah.
So
Which is super cool, and you can kind of go around the lake
Yeah.
and then come back.
there have been plans to extend the bike path in the south part of Wellston, past General Mills and all of that.
Oh.
I mean, it's been in discussion for a while, and I don't know where that.
Hey, you should just
Acceptable.
feel fortunate that you have one.
I know.
because,
It's
you know,
nice.
we don't.
It is very nice, and it's a quiet and it's a cool because if you
Very
just have to walk.
tree-lined.
Yeah, it's tree lined and it's been well maintained.
Yes.
So
Yeah. That's something that I really would love to see,
Yeah.
here in Jackson is something like that, but that's neither here nor there. Well, good. So lots and lots of stuff, lots of things to celebrate this summer or this fall in Wellston.
yep,
And you guys are going to be partying it up.
we hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so.
But the whole point
Now-
is everybody needs to come out and celebrate.
That's right. Now, of course, at my age, I'll probably be nodding off at about 9 o'clock. But other than that, everyone else will be having a good time now.
You're hilarious. So what else did you, while you're here, because you do wear so many hats, so, it's okay to take one off and put one on. But you guys have something else coming up this fall.
Yeah, again, we're going to be doing the Rock for Tots Remembering 60s concert.
Yes.
And that will be happening on Friday, November 17th
Wonderful.
at the Marquee, 7 o'clock. And our special guest will be the Bart Wiseman's Sonic Rhythm Academy,
Yay.
the class of 2023. And they had a concert at the Marquee earlier this month. And I've been to all of them, and they just get better and better and
Yeah.
better. And you're starting to see musicians now. You're starting to see them bloom.
Not
So
little kids with holding an instrument.
No,
They're actually doing this stuff.
They're doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So, and you can tell by their eyes that they're loving this stuff too. So it's a great thing. And the Sonic Rhythm Academy, of course, Megan Wiseman, Bart's wife, is continuing that.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of help, but it's free. They provide the kids musical instruction as well as fellowship. There's food involved. I mean, it's a great thing for kids who want to be musicians, and a lot of
It
kids.
is.
This is probably the only fellowship they get in their lives. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, it's a great thing.
Love it.
And then the whole concert, we donate 100% of the funds because we're not good enough to be paid. Us- Except maybe Ben Davis Jr. He probably could get paid. But we give it, and we normally raise between $4,000 and $5,000 every year for Rock for Tots, and of course Paul
Which
Pollard. We give that
is
to him, and then
such an amazing organization,
yeah,
dude.
and he pays it back to the groups in this area. I know the Wilson Fire Department, Jaffe,
Yep.
and the Gear Grinders all get a portion of not just this money, but other funds as well that he raises.
So a lot of folks, listen, if you've been to a fair or a festival around this area, Paul's probably had his hand in it
Yeah.
because he does a lot of sound and things for artists and, just doing the sound equipment in general for the fairs and festivals. So, but he started this Rock for Tots thing. I don't know, gosh, it seems,
It's 30 some years
is
ago.
it really?
Oh, yeah.
And I met Paul years ago at the Apple Festival, as he was setting up sound and whatnot. And he is such a wonderful human. And this is such a good organization.
Yeah, and that not only do they do raise money for Christmas toys, but they do scholarships. They do other things as well.
It's such good for our kids.
And supports different organization groups in the area. So, yeah, Paul's been a philanthropist for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And he also is carrying on what a good friend of mine, Joe Waters, started, the recording workshop. Paul is now director of that, and he's doing that as well. So he's got lots of hats
on his
too.
plate. Plus, he has a new little one.
Yes, he does.
Who, by the way, is about the cutest thing.
Yeah, I know.
But okay, so your concert coming up in November. Tell us kind of all the details about that.
Well, we'll have it at the Marquee, and the price is $20. Normally we sell out, so I'll have to come back and let you know when tickets go on sale.
I was going to ask if they were already on sale.
No, it should be fairly quick.
Okay.
So we do this. There'll be some refreshments. There'll be a silent auction, but it's John Jones, David, I call him Davy Leach,
Davy Leach,
Craig Klein, Ben Davis Jr. and myself will take the stage. So we'll do this, and we'll have the Sonic Rhythm Academy to be there. They'll be the featured group.
Love
and
that.
They'll be there to kick things off.
So good, and to get the kids involved in a fundraiser for other kids or for kids, that's so cool.
And it is 60s music.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we may dip into the 50s a couple times, but it's 60s music. And of course, what John Jones and myself and Davy Leach and all of us were raised on. Ben Davis Jr., we adopted him. He's adopted into the 60s.
So have we.
Yeah.
Everybody takes in Ben Davis
That's
Jr. because he's precious and we all love him. Yes.
And so if you like 60s music, and that's all you're going to get pretty much. So
no, and that's so fun. But again, this is a fundraiser for, you guys don't keep the money or whatever.
No.
This is all going to local kids through Paul's Rock for Tots organization.
Yes, right.
Yeah, and I think that's important for people to know. Did I see that Megan was selling like raffle tickets or something?
They're going to have a raffle, and you need to get a
this
ticket
is insane.
I know, because we need to get her here.
I know.
And talk about that. I think it's a $50 ticket. You could win
$10,000.
$10,000. Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Where are you?
Sold.
I got a $50 bill. Where are you?
It's just burning a hole in my pocket here.
Yes, that's of course for the Bart Weisman Foundation.
Sure.
To keep things going, because the more kids you have, the more instruments you need.
The more food that they eat.
Yeah,
all of
and
that.
it's and she's dedicated to her life to keep this going.
She has.
Because Bart started this on, he talked about it for years.
Well, I think he was doing it kind of on the down low.
He was, they didn't really have a place to do it, so he would borrow different places to have, and it started out with maybe a half a dozen. It's grown since then. And he would bring all his equipment, all his drum sets, all his guitars, all his stuff, and set it up. And of course, Megan would help. And then they would have, and he did this pretty much by himself. And then he would teach the kids.
Yes.
The parents would bring them, and he would teach the kids. And it was based on the concept of School of Rock. In other words,
Sure.
it was teaching kids, yes, music and part of the theory of music, but also to play stuff that they knew and recognized.
That
you
they
know,
teach them to
rock
play a
music.
song that they want to play.
Yeah. So, and that's what happened, and that's what continues to happen. So,
Sure.
and if you get an opportunity to go to this, I mean, it'd be worth the $20 just to see them. Forget us, to see them, and you could just watch it and see it, and you'll understand what's going on.
Yeah, and you'll see it in their eyes and their faces, and
All right.
you know, and Bart would be so proud.
He would.
He would be so happy about this.
So anyway, if you get wind of those, where you can get a ticket, let me know. One of those raffle tickets, and no, I shouldn't say that. She's emailed, text Connie and I, so we know what's happening. So
Yes, very, very good. And again, you know, if you come out that night, you're supporting local kids. You're supporting, you know, the Sonic Rhythm Academy that's working. Those kids are working so hard, and of course the old guys too.
you know, and how that all started, to be honest with you, is that we used to play at what they called the Sugar Shack. Now, let me explain that. Let me explain it.
Okay.
Paul Pollard would do two fundraisers. He would do, of course, his Rock for Tots concert and auction. That always happens in late November, early December. But in the springtime, at the Shoemaker Center at Ohio University Chillicothe,
Okay.
he would do a 60s. They call it the Sugar Shack.
I gotcha.
And he would have a bunch of different bands, and we would always go over and help him with that. Well, that went on for years and years and years. And then the gentleman who helped him with that, 60s guys like me, which are now over 60, decided that they didn't want to do that anymore. So we decided that since he was, without that, still sending money to Wellston and Jackson, I mean, we decided to go ahead and do this.
Sure.
To pay forward so that more money would come back to Wellston and Jackson.
Yeah.
So we decided to continue the 60s, and we didn't get into having all different kinds of bands and a big thing, but also we thought we would be doing two things at once. We would be helping Rock for Tots and the kids for Christmas, and we would be helping the Marquee.
There you go.
So
all of it.
So in the ticket
win-win.
price, of the $20, half of that goes to the Marquee and half of that goes to Rock for Tots. So
good.
It's a win-win, we think, anyway. So that's the reason we continue to do that.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's just all good.
Yeah.
So much good.
So.
Well, very good. And you guys, so John laughs a lot because, you know, you have taken on, so there's you guys, and then there's Ben.
All right.
and you laugh a lot because you say that you ask him when he's coming to practice, and he said, why do I need to come to practice? You guys practice?
Bart used to do the same thing. Bart would practice for our benefit, not for his.
Right. Let's just make the old fellas feel better.
Yeah, and Ben does the same thing. And the thing about it is that we have a good time. It's fun music to play anyway. Sure. And but you know, the long story is we still miss Bart.
Yes, I know. And the whole world misses Bart.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. And it's okay, because this is, you know, continuing on his legacy and all of the good that he was doing. But it's not fair to not have him there either.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
But again, you know, we needed him. He didn't need us. and it was, and he was so gracious, and like Ben, he was so gracious
Yes.
to put up with the old dudes, and but again, the whole idea, and that's the reason that Bart did it, and that's the reason that Ben does it, is that it's all for a really good cause.
It is. And you have a lot of other local artists, and I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention them, that are helping with the kids.
Oh yes.
Um,
Let's see, we have
think
Jason Hogue.
Jason Hogue, of course, who I think moved back to the area after
and
a whirlwind.
And he's good. And Morgan Washam.
Yep, Morgan.
And those two are the two kingpins in that.
Yep.
And they spend a lot of time, and they are. And if you watch them during the concert, the kids look up to them, and
Sure.
they really are pouring everything they've got into it, so the kids, will not only enjoy themselves, but then start to understand music. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many facets to that, and I don't even know how you would begin to teach the kids, which, I mean, obviously they're musicians and they understand, but my goodness, I mean, you're teaching them, obviously, the technical aspect, but you're teaching them creativity, you're teaching them, I mean, so much. And confidence.
Yeah,
the attitude.
And you
about
see,
it too.
the miracle happens is when it goes from the technical to the intrinsic. It goes to the aesthetic. In other words, that's where the smile comes from.
Yeah.
In other words, you can do the deeds.
Like not the.
I mean, it's like piano lessons. You're doing the piano lessons. You're doing it right.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, it hits you. And then it comes from within instead of from without.
Yeah.
And you can see this happening with these young men and women, where they come in and they're kids, but then you see them musically and aesthetically grow.
Sure.
And all of a sudden you can see in their eyes, I get it. This is
awesome.
This is great.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's part of it. That was part of Bart's dream, and that's what the Sonic Rhythm Academy is trying to perpetuate, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
They're just doing an absolutely wonderful job.
Yep. And want to thank all of the musicians in the area that help out, and it's just such a good thing.
It is. It's an excellent thing. So.
Yep. Well, very good. Well, what else do you have going on? We have a few minutes to chat.
Not a whole lot, really.
Yeah.
No, I've just can't think of anything.
You and Connie were in the other day talking about my brother's place.
Yes.
And if you want to touch on that for a minute as well, because always accepting donations and help with that.
I can touch on a real touchy thing about that.
Let's do it.
Okay. One of the things that has been happening over the years at my brother's place, which is the Wilson Food Pantry as well.
Yes.
And it was developed started in the 70s, 78, I think, where the design was that, we sell clothes cheap, donations that are given to us.
Sure.
And then that funding helps support the food pantry, keeps the food going, so that you're able to give away free food, so to
Yeah,
people.
it was just supposed to be cyclical.
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't work anymore because of expenses going up, and you have to sell a lot of dollar shirts to
everything costs a fortune. Yeah.
Well, what's been happening, and one of the things that Connie is dealing with, and
because your wife Connie's now the director.
She's the director. Yes.
She took that on.
And I think it's misunderstood, is that people think that they're doing the right thing, is they'll have a yard sale or they're cleaning the house and they bring things, but they just put it on the ground or on the porch, just drop it off. And she tells people, and sometimes they get a little perturbed about it, we're not accepting those donations. Because once you place it on the ground, we have to throw it away.
You can't keep it. And it could be the world's best item.
Sure. And once it hits the ground or the porch,
it could be a Gucci bag in the trash.
You don't know what's in it, or who's been in it, or what bugs have crawled in it. And you have to throw it away. I mean, we have to. We can't keep it. So we tell them, please don't do that. So now Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, they're there. And if you have a yard sale on the weekend, hold it for a while. Then come, if you have something you think is worthwhile, they'll accept the donation that way. So
yeah, and so the best thing to do is either obviously come and visit during the opening hours, but you could also, give a shout out, give a call and say, hey, I have some items. Can we arrange to drop them off to you?
Right.
And I'm sure that arrangements could be made that way as well.
And one of the things that people are finding, and if you haven't been to my brother's place, you need to, is that there are a lot of the clothing in there still have the tags on them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, someone's bought something and they don't like it or it doesn't fit, instead of throwing it away, or if you have someone who doesn't want it, you bring it to my brother's place and then we sell it for $1 or whatever it's going to be, $2 for a coat.
Right.
But you can walk through there and find some really, really nice things. Shoes. There's clothing of all kinds. There currently, and another reason why donations are tough to receive is because we're now transitioning from summer to fall.
Yeah, you have to because you don't have all the room in the world, right?
Right, and we don't have room for a lot of stuff, for everything. So again, the best thing would be, and we're not trying to be difficult by not accepting things, but by dumping it there, let's just say what it is,
Yeah.
And I understand that you had a yard sale or something happened.
And you had the right intentions.
And you want to make sure it doesn't go to waste. Well, when you dump it on the porch or on the ground, it does go to waste because we can't do anything with it. So
correct. So
and
make arrangements or come during open hours.
Yeah, and we've had people leave trash bags with clothing, and by the time that night, and by the time we get there in the morning, someone's opened up and gone through it.
I gotcha.
So you just can't, you can't put it on a hanger on a rack and say, we don't know. So
yeah.
So please keep that in mind.
Yeah, very much so. And not that your stuff is not appreciated, because it is very, very much. We just have to follow the proper procedures to make sure that people can benefit from it.
Right. That is true.
Yep. So, and then the food, pantry part of it, obviously, if you would like to help out with that, it would be much appreciated as well.
Oh, yeah. Monetary donations are always accepted.
Because it's expensive for food now.
And my suggestion would be, if you're not familiar with my brother's place and the food pantry, if you would stop by when it's open. I know Connie and any of the volunteers would love to have you just walk through, take a look at what's happening.
Absolutely.
So we have, we do that. And there's also a separate part of that, which is what they call senior boxes, where senior citizens, we have boxes where senior citizens can pick those up once a month.
Okay.
Yeah. And so all of it is a help. You can't feed a family, with a food box, but you can certainly give them.
Well, it's a supplement.
Yes. Give some stuff to work with. So. Absolutely.
And of course, we all laughed when we were in here telling our, college stories of woe about, hey, listen, you can get real creative with stuff.
Oh, yeah. We used to call it, when I was playing music, called it brown rice surprise.
Yes.
Mix up that rice-a-roni and whatever was in there. Surprise.
No, and I said, it's so ironic that we're talking about exactly the same thing, because I said that our senior year in college, I lived with 5 girls in an apartment, and it was that exact thing. You would take a box of whatever flavored rice you had and whatever can of, whether it was chicken or tuna or whatever the heck you had, and you dumped that. And if you had some vegetables in the cupboard, that was really good too.
Okay.
And you could just throw it all together, and it fed like 5 of us.
Well, I roomed with John Jones.
Yes.
And we went to High University together for several years. And we had the ultimate dinner plan.
Yes.
one day at the store when we're looking for this and this and this to make this,
Yes.
we found the ultimate dinner. And I forget the name, Grandma Moses, whatever it was, chicken and noodles in a glass jar about this tall.
Yes.
We bought every one in the store
Yes.
and put those bad boys on the counter. And then every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, pop the top on that thing, put it in a pan, warm it up, chicken and noodles.
Yes.
What are you having for lunch? Chicken and noodles. What's for dinner? Chicken and noodles.
By golly, we all survived it. I don't know how we did it, but
And it was quick and easy.
yes. Oh, it's amazing how creative you
What's
can
in that
get.
dirty pan on the stove?
Chicken and noodles. And we're just going to pour those chicken and noodles on top of the old chicken and noodles.
I'm not saying we did that, but it might have happened. Ugh.
It's all the same. No one will notice. Parents are coming over. We have this really good chicken and noodles.
And it really was good. I mean, believe it or not, I still like chicken and noodles.
I was going to ask you to this day, do you eat chicken
Oh, I
and
love
noodles?
chicken and noodles.
I know, right? Speaking of fairs and festivals, when you get that booth that has like the homemade stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I know they do that at the Apple Festival.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's
all
a
of
booth
that.
we have at the Ohio Hill Country Festival that a guy does chicken. As a matter of fact, they were talking about it this morning on the radio.
Yeah.
Sort of like a teriyaki.
Is it like bourbon chicken?
Bourbon chicken.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah,
So good.
it's good.
Yeah. I've been making that at home a little bit.
I'm going to
and
ask
it
him
is-
if he put noodles with that.
Could you just go ahead? I've got a jar here.
Yeah.
Could you just go ahead and dump it in there?
Jar, put some noodles in there.
Wouldn't it be funny if you were walking through the grocery store one day and you
There's-
saw that jar of that?
I'm still looking for it. But I don't think they make them anymore.
They don't make them because you bought them all.
I know.
They don't exist anymore. No, very, very good. Well, this has been such a fun day catching up with you and talking about both the Ohio Hill Country Festival and, of course, your Rock for Tots event. But also, you know, we have a sesquicentennial in Oak Hill
Right,
going on this year, also in Wellston. Really
Right.
cool.
right.
And then 50 years of the Ohio Hill Country Festival, and then 100 years celebrating Jim Bodling.
Isn't that cool?
So crazy.
Yep.
I wonder how many. It would be fun to get Rex in here and like,
We
or
need
like
to.
talk about how the company has evolved over the years and like, you know, what were the products 100 years ago versus what they are today.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be fun?
that would be cool.
That would be a really cool show. So I wonder how many Jim Bottling products there are out there right now.
Don't know. I know there used to be lots of flavors: grape, root beer, cream soda.
There was the red cream soda too, wasn't there?
I don't know. That might have been a cherry, I think. I don't
cherry,
know. I
okay.
don't remember. But
Maybe.
I do remember root beer. I remember grape. And I remember cream soda,
Was there an orange?
double cola.
Double. Oh, wait. That is Jim Bottling,
Yeah,
isn't
double
it?
cola.
Does double cola still exist?
I think it does. I don't. It's manufactured, I think, somewhere else, but it used to be double cola. And I have a story about double cola that
Okay.
I can't tell on the air, but
Dang it. I was excited. Well, you can tell me in a minute and 10 seconds.
No. it was just a high school prank that included double cola. So,
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't bad, but I did get in trouble for it, though.
No, you.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So here's the deal, and I'm going to tell on him. A lot of people know the John Pelletier today. They
Yeah.
don't know the John Pelletier of yesteryear.
I know. Well, we can end on this. I am the only student that I know of at Wilson High School that received detention for life.
Shut up. Is that a thing?
That's a true story. As a matter of fact, when
Ah!
I'm president of the alumni, believe it or not, how ironic is that? And when I sit beside Sadie, I always tell them the reason Sadie has to sit beside me is that I'm still serving detention for life.
How did they enforce that?
Principal Claude Swick gave me detention for life.
So like every day after school you had to stay or?
I didn't. he finally got tired of seeing me and told me to go home.
I gotcha. But you still have detention for life.
But yeah, it's still serving it.
Well, we'll talk off the air about what you did to deserve that.
Okay,
too.
gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Well, John, thank you so much.
I was just defending myself.
Right. Thank you so much for coming in. Come back if you wouldn't mind before the festival again,
Okay,
and we
will
can
do.
go over the fun
Okay.
stuff going on.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Well, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, TheTelegramNews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Subscribe today at TheTelegramNews.com.
Check it out.